Hi there, welcome to some recent breaking news in the Noah Presgrove case. One of Noah's family members, known as Robin Smith, the aunt, has responded back amongst claims elsewhere, stating that Noah's family have received the key data and phone analysis of Kaden Pressy, which backs up his timeline. But how true is it? Well, Robin Smith has responded. And whilst others could criticise and say, oh, well, it's just one of Noah's family members, it's just Robin Smith, it's only an aunt. Well, as we saw back in March, there was those discussions or conversations, text, iMessage or Facebook, to do with Alicia and some meeting with Noah's family, and it included Robin Smith, supposedly, but at the same time, it supposedly never happened, and it might make more sense in today's video with what Robin has said in response. But more importantly, it does highlight the big issues at hand. So, welcome to anyone that is currently here in this small live premiere. Happy Easter. Share your thoughts and reactions in the live chat box right hand side of the screen, and be sure to drop your comments and thoughts down below under this video. If you want to support the channel, there is a PayPal link down below. And if you want to catch up on my recent videos coverage, top right where the eye symbol is, you can click there, you'll see the full playlist. And for example, shout out to, I think it was Robbie Taylor or Joyce, whichever one it was, for their super chat last night. It's very good to see. And anyone else in between. And also a big shout out to Brooke Bounce Carter for their big super chat, which was really positive. With that all being said, we're just going to head on over to Facebook, look at the comments, look at what Robin had to say to the original comment in question, and then go from there. This can be found on the Justice page, the official one run by the family, and this was posted by Lilia Pinson 21 hours ago, and they were asking, can anyone verify if this is true? I'd like one of the family members to verify. If this is not true, then this BS of spreading false information has to stop. And where does this supposed false information come from? You could say, well, why is one jumping ahead? Well, when we look to the comment section, Robin says it's not true. But before we go any further, we need to take a look at the original post. And it was from the Noah Presgrove puzzle page, in which the admin is, as you can see on screen, that person. And within the comment section, we've got Christine Brown saying, hey, I saw Beth, as in Beth Carr, posted that Noah's family received Kaden Pressy's time logs, and they were true to what he said, so 5:15 onwards. Do you think now others will try changing their narrative to fit his timeline? Christine, should have had CNN on the TV. Anything else? Not really. So is it really true that Noah's family have finally received Kaden Pressy's time phone logs, his data, his phone analysis, that it clears it all up now and it's all happy and fine? Well, if that's the case, Robin Smith saying it's not true. So if you've got Noah Presgrove's family member saying it's not true, but they still don't have Kaden's phone analysis, they don't have the data and all of that, then it clearly shows that there is misinformation going about elsewhere. But why would incompetent people do something like that? How does it help or benefit the case? And some of these people that may be claiming or stating it, if it is Beth Carr as an example, if anybody else, some do come from the army page in the past, so got to acknowledge that as well. But let's just see, the other comments in between. Is it just me, or does everyone seem to be crabby and on edge? We all got to take a step back, regroup and start being peaceful again? No, because yeah, you can do peace treaties. It will not last. It will not work, Dina, because the reality is when it comes to the odd, person out there, one of the most problematic individuals within this case, part of the third group, I made all my predictions early on before anyone else picked up on it. I pinned out exactly who would be the problems and I was exactly right. And whilst along the way the odd person said, well, like, Raf, let's do a peace treaty, it's all fine and dandy and okay, I don't hate you, I don't have any problems with you, 2 days later, went back at it, obsessing over me. You know, I didn't fall for it. I knew exactly what was going to happen. See, this thing, when you get conflict and you get problematic people, you want to try and do some peace treaty with them, don't bother, lost cause. It'll only go wrong down the line. I've seen it all happen before. You're better off just cutting ties, distancing oneself, reforming, strengthening again, and going from there. And I think that the ARC page is a good example of that. For once, because in the past, in other cases, it normally wouldn't work out. So it makes a change. We've got Sheila. Why make it political? Because they're immature. So it must be to do with some random posts. But yeah, Robin's comment the most important. And we'll just check for additional responses. We've got Becca. I believe it's Becca's birthday today. So happy birthday. It's impossible to try and correct all the misinformation out there, Robin. We do try, and it's annoying how people pick and choose what to believe. I wish that whole group that's behind the BS would get booted. And is it a certain group? Is it the same people over and over again? Because whilst misinformation and BS needs to be cleared up, we need to look at the root of all problems, the actual person or people creating it all, and then try and question and figure out why are they doing it? How do they benefit specifically? We've got Anita K saying, thank you, Robin. Joyce Begau, thank you for clarifying. Needs to be cleared up. Extra prayers. Yeah. And that's pretty much it for that. So, to be fair, in terms of this original post, it's a person that's heard it from somebody else, supposedly, which is Beth Carr, but is Beth the originator of it? Or is the odd incompetent person who we see highlighted in blue part of it? It's come from somewhere, and you know how it can spread. All in all, it's not the first time something like that has happened, and it won't be the last. I mean, you had to put together, like, notes of all the different misinformation. My question to you as a viewer, and you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, within this case over time, has there been more misinformation or has there been more disinformation? Both for the usage and actions of false information, which isn't true, but the difference between misinformation, which is like creating, passing on incorrect news in like a fake way, unnatural way, forced way, and it's not the truth. It differs to disinformation. Disinformation is when it's done with intent to cause harm, confusion, misdirection. You know what you're doing when you spread BS, when you create BS. Misinformation is more innocently done, can still be problematic, of course, but it's just, more innocent. You don't mean to be a problem. You don't mean to cause harm or trouble. It indirectly happens. That's what tends to be the case most of the time. But, the people who've seen it within this case community and the way things have gone, do you believe that there is more misinformation or disinformation? If it's the latter, well then, is there a pattern? That's my follow-up question. Is there a pattern and trend to who or what groups or what type of people do this on a regular basis or over time? Is it always the same crowd or is it spread out differently? Because it's important to clear stuff up along the way. And of course, if someone like Noah's family can do that, that's a big help because that's who you would actually want to hear it from. If it was just a member of the general public giving a counterpoint, it doesn't hold enough weight. But when it's one of Noah Presgrove family members, there's a bit more depth behind it. And you could still argue and say, well, it's still only words, but at least from the attitudes and the way things have gone and what was supposed to be done previously and the odd meeting and sharing of stuff and Alicia saying, in one of the texts what we saw, after you've got all of it, can you leave my son alone? Well, did they get any of it in the first place? From the looks of it, it doesn't sound like it. So that still goes on. Kaden Pressy missing in action as well. You know, out of all this time, and now Kaden Pressy goes missing in action. After all that time of putting up himself with all the attacks and questions, then finally laying low. After all that time of saying, I'm going to stick to it, I'm going to stand up. And whilst Noah's family are kind of in the dark, it just seems really dysfunctional, in my opinion, that some things could have been got out of the way, over and done with. Even if you didn't want to do it, just get out of the way as soon as possible, throw it aside, and then you can move on, or then you can lay low. But would anyone say that some people in the case have like really tried dragging stuff out and straining it, possibly? Now, in terms of other Facebook posts or responses, I think there was one by Michael Facecaz referring to Robin Smith and even tagging her, but Robin Smith isn't a part of the group that Michael was posting or tagging her in, so it wouldn't have notified her. When you're trying to tag someone on a Facebook group or page and they're not a member of, it'll have a circle with a cross going through it. So maybe people don't know about that. But yeah, I don't know if a particular post like that is in relation to what we're looking at today, but that's why I'm leaving it separate for now, because there's lots of small little pieces to get through back to back from the horses' mouths, quite direct and clear and sharp. And so that kind of bit before about people being on edge. I mean, in terms of how it is here, just standard, just another day. It's just another day. Wake up, do whatever needs to be done, do the coverage, spread awareness, keep it alive, try and learn, sleep, repeat. That's it. So with that consistency, it might sound a bit boring and dull, to be honest, but with that consistency, you know, I wouldn't say on edge or changing up like that. Maybe other people are on edge elsewhere, but maybe they just don't have it under control the same way. From the odd other voices, gone a bit quieter, which is a positive, but it will always ramp back up depending what type of videos come out. And I'm predicting that the odd video that does come, it will lead to something, but it's above board and done in a controlled way. And hopefully I can get that out as soon as possible, but I need to catch up on these little bits and bobs and see if anything follows along the way. Hopefully you found the video somewhat interesting. If you do want to share it or hit the thumbs up, that'd be appreciated. My name's Wallach Rath. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.